Not a bad little spot, eh? What if we just hove to or waited somewhere for 6 hours?
Just look at how salty Pascal's become. She's like, yeah, we can definitely heave to. These seas are nothing.
No, I just don't want to go to weather.
Welcome to Free Range Sailing. For the last 4 years we have been sailing around our island continent and sharing our experiences with you.
Just look at that. Sensation.
After 9 months of hard work, we have just completed an extensive refit of our 50-year-old 30-foot fiberglass sailboat in Tasmania. Now we have a short weather window to close the loop and sail the 2,000 nautical miles home to Western Australia before the westerly winds of autumn return. To join us each week in a race against time to reunite with our families, thanks for subscribing to our channel and hitting the bell button. We're here just west of Albany, anchored at a place called Sheltered Island, and you can see that it's really beautifully sheltered from the swell and all winds, so we're really happy to be here. We're just going to be waiting here for a day and having a look around because we can't go any further because if we continue on we'll hit headwinds when we round the Cape, so we're going to wait a day for those northerly headwinds to ease. We're actually going to ride the end of those northerly winds out because it's perfect wind for continuing west to get to the Cape, and then once we get to the Cape we're going to motor sail around it. Well, that's the plan, that's what the forecast is. We'll see what actually happens.
This one's tight, this one's not. I need to just pinch this one up.
After a quick inspection and tightening of the rigging, and with provisions getting low, we were curious to see whether there was any tasty seafood to be had at our new anchorage.
My plan is just to swim with Troy, but he's already gone. My best guess is straight ahead, but I'll wait for him to come up. He can hold his breath for a long time. It's a minute so far. I don't see him. Where are you? Oh, there he is. Alright, let's go. Not a bad little spot, eh? What you eating there?
salted pickled herring. I can see why they call it Shelter Island. Wherever we've had the winds coming from, it's been
Really sheltered.
perfect.
Pickled herring.
Pickled herring were amazing. Shelter Island has lived up to its name. We got some abalone here. We got some banded morwong, so we've got enough supplies for the onward voyage. I've got yogurt and jam and hemp seeds here. There's nothing more than we could want, except for good winds to take us to the last couple of 100 miles.
Is it really a couple of hundred? I thought it was more like 300.
Yeah, a few hundred.
It's pretty exciting.
So we'll leave in an hour and a half, and by the time we get to the next 160 mile sort of milestone, we want to be hitting that neutral weather. We don't want to be hitting northerlies. Then I guess we're going to have to switch the motor around the Cape Leeuwin, and wait for the wind to return. But yeah, we've had more than our fair share of tailwinds, but now when we want to go up, we're going to get a headwind. So we just have to structure our cruise to take account of it.
But we'll be able to have a nice sail out on the northerlies, hopefully.
Yeah.
Out of here.
So we'll get northeasterlies now. So we should have a beam reach for the rest of the day, which is what we were waiting here at Shelter Island for. So good.
Only an hour after departing, we had a fish on the line, and Troy quickly reduced head sail area to slow us down to reel it in.
We were caught by surprise by the fact that the handle hadn't actually been glued to the gaff. This time when we started processing the tuna, the shearwaters had a little bit of competition.
Whoa,
Serpent.
wave.
Serpent.
Hold on. Oh, there's another one. I think that's it.
Serving dinner at 7 knots.
Oh wait, okay, no, there's another one.
It's neither here nor there.
No. Did you want paper towels for the bowl? Yum.
Action.
Yeah. Hot meal. Just a simple green curry with pre-bought green paste, but we're kind of at the end of our stores now. It's good that we got all this fish, delicious fish in the fridge.
Yeah, I was going to say we just got new stores today.
Yeah.
Abalone, banded morwong,
Abalone, banded morwong, and a tuna.
albacore.
Now the fridge is full.
As the sun rose on my morning watch, I was keeping a keen eye on the dangerous Cow and Calf rocks to our south.
Morning, we are rounding Point d'Entrecasteaux, and at the moment we're close reaching, and pretty soon we're going to make a 15-degree turn into the wind. So, at the moment we're sort of rushing along. We need to get there for a birthday. If we wait another couple of days we completely miss it. So as it turns out, we're going to be sailing fairly close hauled now to make Cape Leeuwin, and then as we approach Cape Leeuwin it's going to bend to the northwest. So d'Entrecasteaux to Cape Leeuwin is to the northwest. That's alright. So we're going to lose the wind soon. We'll be doing a bit of motor sailing. We'll probably have a bit of close hauled messiness in the meantime. But it's nice that we've made it this far. But I suspect that our average of about 6 knots, our overall average this trip's been about 5.6 knots since we left. But we did have some slow times when we had some low wind, and the rest of the time Pasky's been in charge, so we've been roaring along at about 6 knots. So we're getting there. We'll probably be a bit close hauled, and then we're going to end up in the teeth of the wind, and then hopefully when we round Cape Leeuwin we'll probably have to do that under motor. I'll have to switch on the engine again. Halfway through Wednesday we should be getting southerlies, just in time to get there for Thursday.
It was really calm, that's why I had it. Wow.
Say your case, stuff.
At the moment, if we're motoring into it and close hauled and all that, then we're going to get there like early Thursday morning, like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning or something like that. Or late Wednesday night, midnight.
Yep.
Right? So what if we just hove to or waited somewhere for 6 hours and then went when the winds were more favourable, and then we got there on Thursday like in the middle of the day?
Yeah, well, that's going to happen. But I mean, we're going to hit d'Entrecasteaux, and we're still going to need to go up into the wind for this leg. And then if we're really facing,
I just didn't know if there was an anchorage.
if it's right on the nose,
Yeah.
then we'll see where we are and we'll decide then.
Okay. All right.
Heaving too is totally an option,
Yeah.
definitely, especially in such little seas.
Yeah. Little seas.
We're not used to these little seas.
No, it's just like because it's blowing offshore, so there's no fetch really, or not much fetch.
Just look at how salty Pascal's become. She's like, yeah, we can definitely heave too. These seas are nothing.
No, I just don't want to go to weather.
She's sick of going to weather. We've had a few. we've had a few sessions of going to weather. Anyway, I've successfully made 1 cup of coffee. I don't dare do it again. It'll be crazy in here. Woo! Better. Look at that stick.
Yeah, this isn't too bad. We're not right on the wind.
This is glorious. People pay money to do this stuff.
Turns out we're not tight on the wind. We're close haul but not super tight. We're very close reach. Is there such a thing?
Yeah, we're doing it.
A close reach. I'm relieved, and the seas are small.
Pasky was a little bit concerned, but we've come along. It's like the galley's sort of partying away. Look at this gimbal stove. But we're just sort of bobbing around a bit on a small sea, but really we're raging away again, doing 6 knots. I'd say Pasky reckons we're on a close reach, which is a little bit like north-northeast. So we're going to go with that. We're on a close reach. We're ripping along. It's looking good.
Well, I got under the dodger in time. Could have been a lot worse. Not wearing my Fowley jacket. If I was wearing my Fowley jacket, then I wouldn't have got wet. Could have been a lot worse.
The weather gods looked kindly upon us as we neared Cape Leeuwin. No headwinds for us, just glassy calms and a colourful sunset as we switched on the engine and motored our way around it to continue our journey northwards. By sunrise, a light southerly had begun to blow, so we poled out the headsail for our final leg of the passage. Well, this is quite lovely. It's our last full day at sea for quite some time. It's been a long 4 and a bit weeks getting home all the way from Tasmania. I think we've covered more than 2,000 miles, but we'll give you the full total when we finally get to Fremantle. But it's really nice having this downwind sail with the head sail pulled out. We're going wing on wing again. And I think we've probably got about 15 knots of breeze. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's very relaxing. Being able to have a sleep, easy to look out for boats. It's a clear day and the weather's finally warm. We're just so happy we had a bit of time up on the foredeck in our birthday suits, just getting all toasty with the sun, and it's just nice to be back in WA. It feels great, and so much fish in the fridge and everything. Really awesome. So happy to be home and happy that this journey's almost over. Passage making is pretty tiring and we're looking forward to a nice big rest.
Well, this passage we've definitely spent a lot of time winged out. We either had a choice. We could either have it on the nose or we could have it behind us, so the choice is sort of obvious. We've run our winged out head sail at the moment in a very traditional fashion. I got one of my spinnaker sheets, ran it through a block at the back, and put that through the pole, so the sheets that run the head sail are completely independent now. It's just, I've run it like that just so we've got a little bit more ability to just drop everything, just drop that spinnaker sheet, and then we've got full control of the head sail again. The pole's guyed out, it's got its fore guy. The aft guy, how we've rigged that up is it's always attached to the actual pole itself, and then it can be just fixed to the boat somewhere else. A lot of guy lines, they go through a block actually on the deck and then they'll run out to the pole, but we've done it so it lives on the pole itself, and it just just makes just another bit of deck hardware that we didn't have to install. But it feels pretty good, I'm looking forward to a hot shower and a nice meal, maybe a little booze. See how it goes. So it's just a really great finish to this passage, like we don't expect the winds to get any stronger, but at the moment they're just about 15 knots. We're doing 7 knot average. So it feels like there's barely any wind. If we turned around it would feel a bit different. Just a beautiful sunset, really moderate seas. We can see here, if we just have a look, you can see there's no big waves or anything like that to interrupt us. The boat's not surfing, but the wind in our sails isn't really being interrupted, so we can just maintain a really good, we're doing hull speed, like averaging in the mid 7 knots. Anyway, about 6, maybe 7 hours to go if the wind dies off after the sea breeze, but it's nearly over. We're nearly there.
We arrived in the middle of the night at Rottnest Island and spent 3 days catching up with family before our final boisterous passage into Success Harbour in Fremantle. And just like that, our 4-year circumnavigation of Australia was complete.
All right, gang, hope you enjoyed that. That completes our circumnavigation of Australia.
Yes, we did it in almost exactly 4 years. We left in March 2017 and arrived in March 2021.
That's right.
Yeah.
I just want to say right now, when we set off from Perth those years ago, we got up and we started filming. We didn't know if it was going to continue or what was going to happen. So the people that got behind us and contributed cash, right? Money.
Yes.
They made it possible. We would have stopped probably around Queensland filming, but and that would have been a few years ago. So the additional years of filming, hopefully you've enjoyed the journey. But thanks very much to those people that made it possible, because without money, nothing is possible, really, is it? So we, after that really big refit in Tasmania, we feel that the improvements to the boat were pretty good.
Yeah, definitely amazing. The rig performed really, really well. Like, we got the best speeds we've gotten out of our boat ever, really, after the refit.
Yeah, so I mean, we did just over 2,000 miles coming from Tasmania to Fremantle. I don't even know the exact figure. What we can do is we'll pop a link in the description. Rob Martin at ClientSat, our friend, he gave us a website where it actually shows our track going across. And if you're interested to see that, it has the total distance that we've travelled and exactly where we went.
Yeah.
Pasky's been doing Google Earth ones at the front of each video, but if you go to that link in the description, the ClientSat map will actually show you where we went and how far.
Yeah, and don't be alarmed if the track goes a little bit over islands or stuff like that, because we sent updates every hour. So sometimes if we were getting in and out of anchorages, like the line, as we're navigating around, the line cuts over. But we didn't actually go around like 10 times.
We're not that crazy. So as we're going across the bight, we averaged 6.2 knots because we had really consistent winds. But for the trip overall, once you factor in low winds and
the motoring,
and smashing into weather and stuff like that, we averaged about 5.4 knots. So people that know 30-footers yachts, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good overall average. 6.2 is an extremely good average. So we feel that our rig really performed. We've had absolutely no problems with it. In fact, everything from the refit we've had no problems with, right?
Yeah, we've had a few issues, like we're going to remount the deck winch that's
on the cabin top, on the coach top. We're going to change the position of that.
Yeah, I tried to get away with one, but we'll just go back to the two at the base at the mast. But
and the wind steering was ongoing, but you repaired that. You've sorted that on that last leg. It was finally sorted because we couldn't really test that until we got out in the water and to see how the systems work. So it was really good because you broke it in over like 2,000 miles. You figured out the perfect system for the wind steering.
Yeah, so it's 700 miles proven now. But I know people are going to have a lot of questions, and we don't know what they are. So we are going to do a live chat.
Yeah. Yep.
Even here, like we're having some patchy internet. So I think the best thing for people to do is, if you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell, when we do a live chat, you will be notified when it goes up. It's really hard for us to sort of set a time. At the moment, we just have to see when we can get some internet.
Yeah, and we'll do our best to give you a bit of notice, maybe in the community pages, on the community section of our channel page. So if you're subscribed, you'll also get that message too.
Yep.
To notify you. But that's probably the best we can do because we're not really sure with internet. It's a bit difficult in Australia.
At this stage, people are wondering, is that the end of free range sailing? It's not strictly the end, but we just had an enormously busy year in Tasmania.
Yeah.
And there's still a fair bit of ongoing confusion about how surrounding governments are handling the whole virus thing that's going on at the moment. And the other thing is we just figured that if we got back to Perth and we had, 600 patrons,
600
I
patrons,
think,
yeah.
then we would consider going overseas. That hasn't happened.
Yeah.
And so we don't really like, that's partly down to us. We don't really hustle that much.
Yeah, we didn't want to spruik it or anything like that.
So that hasn't happened, and so after the refit, we're a little bit broke, to tell you the truth. So we're going to hang around WA waters again and go fishing, and so it'll just be the same old free range sailing. But people were asking, are you going international? We can't afford to.
Yeah.
is the crux of the matter.
Yeah.
All right, so is anything else? Well, live chat. We'll just deal with it as a live chat.
Yeah. We'll stay tuned because as soon as we can, we'll bring you a live chat.
Yeah, and WA waters, while they're amazing and brilliant, they do also have really patchy internet. So we'll be uploading videos when we can.
Yep.
And that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching.
And thanks for everyone that has supported us.
Yeah, it really means a lot.